Hi, it's Chris again from the Petawawa Military Family Resource Center, and this is our fourth and final chat with the mental health team over the month of May. And today I would like to share with you that we are going to be discussing working from home. So a little disclaimer, if we have our little people running around, that's the nature of working from home and continuing to run business virtually as we can. Today I'm joined by Dan. Dan, you want to give a little wave? Shannon and Amanda. Shannon, Amanda, and Dan are three members of our mental health team. And so they are working from home virtually, of course, but they are also working with the challenge of having little people. They are working with the challenge of preparing to move, and they are working with the challenge of having to be everything to everybody and support to our community, continuing with the mental health team work. So what I thought I would do today is kind of share with our community that you are not alone when you're at home parenting with your children, when you're at home being the teacher to your children, and you're certainly not alone if you're the soccer coach for your children as well, because all of these pieces, along with many more, will hit every one of our mental health workers as well. So I'm going to ask them to give some personal and professional support around how they're handling their time at home, being everything to everybody, and give some professional pieces for those watching as well, because you don't have to do it all. And my mental health team folks will help you take that and run with it. All right, so I'm going to get started. Dan, I'm going to start with you first.
Okay.
You are one of our family liaison officers, so you deal with a different side of the house in terms of our support to our community. So I'm just wondering if you can share with us how you're handling being a family liaison officer at home virtually, but yet a dad and a husband to support your family at home.
Well, it's certainly been interesting. In terms of the adjustment, I mean, even just trying to tell my 3-year-old son, hey, daddy's at home, but he's working from the bedroom, which, I mean, is an adjustment in and of itself, having to convert the bedroom into a shared space. And, you know, I give my wife all the credit in the world for being able to, hopefully you can't hear the helicopter going by. um, I give my wife all the credit in the world for being able to keep the kids busy for the majority of the working day, while also trying to see clients and help them through the same stuff. And so it is a matter of really, on my end, practicing what we preach in terms of both being able to separate the professional and personal lives, while also making sure that when I am not at this table, I'm with my family, I'm engaged, I'm doing as much as I can, and really trying to experience my kids growing up, because I have that opportunity. And so it's both a challenge and an opportunity that way.
Thanks very much. Shannon, you're coming back to the mental health team virtually from a mat leave. So you have a very young child. Well, you actually have 2 young children at home. How are you doing adjusting to coming back to the team virtually, seeing new folks on the team, becoming aware of the fact that you have to put your mindset back into being a social worker and still continuing to be a mom at home?
It's a challenge. I have a 1-year-old who has been running around since 10 months, so he is all over the place and does not understand why mom is down in the basement working. I have a 3-year-old who loves to come to mom to cuddle whenever he hurts himself or has a tantrum, and doesn't understand when I say, okay, I have appointments at this time today or whatever. He doesn't understand. He calls it my working out, because I always work out in the morning. So then he says he thinks I'm working out all day. so I'm downstairs working out. But like, he doesn't understand, well, can I just not come out work out with you, and that kind of thing. So it's been a real challenge for him to kind of understand what's going on. on top of that, I'm really finding it a struggle to spend time with them because I'm home. If I go upstairs to get something, Mom, can you play Hungry Hippos with me? Mom, can you read me a book in bed, please? And so it's really trying to find that balance of still meeting the client's needs, doing my notes, keeping up with the kids. The other day I said to my husband, I haven't spent any time with my 1-year-old because my 3-year-old's a lot more vocal and needy. So it's been a real challenge to try to balance everything, especially coming back from mat leave, like Chris said, because I don't know a lot of the team, and it's really hard to create a relationship with people when you're virtual and doing team meetings once a week for an hour or two. And with Zoom, you can't really just like interrupt and talk and the way you would at an office. So it's been a challenge, I would say. But not to say there's not good things about it, because I've got to spend a lot more time with my 1-year-old than I would have seen a lot of amazing things. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Shannon. And Amanda, wow, you probably have a few more extra things going on because you have a posting message, but you also have school-age children. So not only are you supporting the community with the mental health piece, but you're also probably doing some mental health work with your children around what it looks like and feels like not to be going back to school. How are you doing?
Well, like Dan and Shannon have all said too, it's definitely adjustment. It's not our perfect situation. We get to go to work for the day and our kids are safe at school, or daycare for some of us. I've really had to kind of slow down. In the beginning, it was a little bit of a challenge, more so I was on vacation when this all started. And so then coming back from my staycation, so that already interrupted my kids kind of not getting that kind of excitement, to, okay, we're not going back to school. It's just a short term, adjusting to online education. I am very lucky to have my husband also be working from home, but we've had to, how do we teach? With both of us working, he has a conference call, or I have a Zoom, or I have a client. So that's been just kind of managing that. And the same thing that Shannon and Dan said too, like learning to spend time with the kids, not just, so like if I walk out of my office and I just finished maybe 2 sessions, instead of going right to my notes, maybe I'm going to go spend a little bit of time with my kids or help them with some homework. But let's go on top of that, I'm moving. So I got to list my house during COVID. We had one offer fall through, so had to do another. How do I arrange it safe and clean for people to come into my home, because not everyone wants to do virtually. I also sold myself by owner, so we didn't have an agent to support us. It was kind of just us managing that. And now, but I will repeat what Shannon said. It's kind of a wonderful thing in the same sense. If I think about, I get to spend a lot of time with my kids. I've never had this opportunity. I finished school, went solid into work. So it is somewhat of a blessing. Also selling my house while being at home and working, at least I could arrange things like that. So in the big terms of things, I think, yes, it's hard in an adjustment, but looking at the positive, it's a great thing.
Thanks. So it sounds like all three of you, even though COVID doesn't have great vibes, it sounds like you've all found something positive in terms of, okay, this is the way it's going to be, so we may as well make it work. And so you're making it work as great mental health clinicians as well as great parents.